right, welcome. We're going to get this fixed here. Hang on one second. We just got to get this thing moving. All right, why is it not working? Oh, wait, I know why it's not working. All right, bear with me here. 1 second, guys. There we go. All right. So I'm just playing around with some new graphics and whatnot. There we go. All right, so how is everybody doing today? So let's start off like I like to start off with most of these. And that is number one, if you have questions, and I still need to make a graphic for this, and I haven't done it, and that's on me. But put a Q, a colon, and then a question. Now, if this is the first time you are seeing me on YouTube and or TikTok, because I'm going live on both, I want you to go ahead and put a 1 in the comments if that is you, if that's what's going on. So, and another thing, if you are watching on vertical, there's a lot of slides that you are not going to see, unfortunately, but I just didn't have a chance to build all the vertical versions of the slides. Now, if you want to come over to horizontal, you're going to see everything because all the slides are put together there. But what we're talking about here, in case you can't see over my shoulder, and I probably ought to move that a little bit, but is we're talking about building income that you own, not rent. All right. Now, who knows what I'm talking about? Who knows? Anybody know? You can put it in the comments of either TikTok or YouTube, and I will be happy to answer that question if anybody knows or wants to guess. So the difference between owning and renting your income is the difference between how you make your money. So if you're making your money by the platform, then you are at the mercy of the platform. Hopefully that makes sense to you. But so here's the deal. If you are doing that, right, you are you're missing out on some opportunities. That's all I can really tell you is you're missing out. And the reason you're missing out is because you just don't have control. You have what we call platform dependence. And you don't want platform dependence. You want the ability to make money regardless of how much you post and regardless of how many views you get. And the way that you do that, and the biggest lever to help you do that, is two things. Number one, and it's not really what you think, all right? It is not what you think. So the number one thing here, all right, the number one thing, oh, and why did it do this? It did it again to me, didn't it? All right, I got to move this back here, guys. Sorry. I got to move this back. There we go. All right. It is not what you think. It is not more posting. It is not more views. It is not more followers. It's none of those things. All right. And the reason it's none of those things is because they don't move the lever the way that you think they do. But what it is most people, this is what they're in. They're in what we call the platform and the ad trap. That's where the creators work for the platform instead of themselves. A lot of people, I used to try to tell people about this, and they would get mad at me because you know what I would call them? I'd call them content slaves. That's what I would call them. I'd call them content slaves. And I call them that because they're hoping that they win the lottery, right? They're hoping that one video is going to pop off and they're going to get a lot of views and then they're going to get paid. But what happens with all of these programs, here's how they work. All right. In case you're not aware, here's how they work. And hopefully there's no echo on TikTok. I know there's been echo before, but that was because I was using this microphone, which I'm not using anymore. I've actually got a new microphone coming and it's going to be a real lapel mic and it's going to sound really cool. But this is what happens. They dangle some payments in front of you. for a little while, and then they get you hooked on the platform, and then they reduce those payments. They did it with Creator Fund. They did it with rewards. They did it with TikTok Shop, right? They do it with AdSense in the beginning. Like in the beginning, when you're monetized, they get you all sucked in by giving you lots of views and you make a little bit of money. And then the moment they have you hooked, they pull it all back. They did the same thing with Facebook Reels. There was a time when people were making $30,000 a month with Facebook Reels. Guess what? They're not making that kind of money with Facebook Reels anymore. And they're certainly not making that type of money with any kind of Instagram content. It's because they dangled the carrot in front of them to get their attention, and then they yank it away. So you don't want to be on the ad plan. What you want to do is realize, here's the two best ways to make more money online. It is, again, it is not by posting more, and it's not by getting more followers and more reach. It is by making better video so you can gain more trust. And so what you do is you elevate your brand, your personal brand, and then it is by building some sort of a continuity offer where people can pay you every single month and learning how to get good at advertising. Get good at advertising. And look, I'm the first person to tell you that learning advertising is not easy. All right? It is not easy at all. But the thing about it is the highest leverage thing that you can learn. It is the absolute highest leverage thing that you can learn. Because when you learn how to advertise properly, you can exponentially grow your income. And I'm going to show you a slide about that here in just a second. But what slide am I on here? So, the first lever is better video. Now, if you have followed me for any period of time, ever, whether it's on TikTok or whether it's on YouTube, you know, and I'm going to be the first to tell you, the quality of my video has been absolute shit. It has been absolute shit. I've still made some money, but it's terrible. It's garbage. And while that doesn't make me any worse than anybody else, when you get better at video and when you elevate the quality and the professionalism of your video, guess what? You elevate your brand. You separate yourself from other people. So, better video creates more professionalism, creates more trust, and it creates more sales. That's lever number one. Now, the way that I've done this is by one simple piece of software that actually replaced another piece of software that I used to use. I used to use a software called Loom. Anybody familiar with Loom? L-O-O-M? Anybody familiar with that? I don't see any comments, so I'm not sure if that's the case. But I used to use Loom. And the thing about Loom was that it was good because I could share screens, right? And I can show things rather than tell things, which is good. You want to be able to do that. But it had a only one option look, which means that I looked just like everybody else. My white screen and then my little circle in the bottom looked like everybody else. I had no way to specifically brand myself other than being able to put a tiny little logo. Where am I? Tiny little... I'm backwards, so I can't tell. Sorry. There. So a tiny little logo down here I could put, or in any corner. That was the only way you could brand yourself. Whereas opposed to this, where this looks completely different. Nobody else on the internet, anywhere, has this exact same branding. Why? Because I created it myself. That's my slogan. That's my background. Obviously, it's not real, but that's my slogan. That's my background. And that's my business, right? Right over my shoulder. It's mine. Nobody else can copy that. And what that does is that separates you from other people. So again, let's go back to that lever. Better video. Now, as long as I prove to you I know what I'm talking about, I gain more trust, right? And you might be saying to yourself, I want my video to look better. I want mine to look more professional. I want mine to stick out from everybody else. And by the way, if you're trying to do all this just by getting views, you're missing the point, but I'm going to show you here in a second. But it is so much about that lever, right? That lever is so key. And then number two, as we move on, now see this, oh no, what's going on? There we go. Oh, there's my, sorry, trying to get this out. Whoa, what happened there with my TikTok comments? Let's move that. There we go. Let's move that over there so we can get that off screen. Well, that's crazy. What am I doing? What am I doing here? Do I have that? Let's see. Options. Oh, I do have it on live demo. There. No, I don't. I do not. So I don't know why that's showing up. I apologize. And I don't see any comments here or questions. So I'm going to just move that out of the way so it's not distracting to people. But no, I'm sorry. What was it? Is this what I wanted? Yeah. All right. So your audience is going to make a decision. And again, this is not on vertical. I apologize. But your audience is going to make a decision in about 8 seconds. They're going to watch like 8 seconds of video, and then they're going to say, I like this person. I believe this person. This person's a fraud. I don't like this person, whatever it is. And that's fine. So you have very little time to impress them. And if you're trying to accomplish something like let them understand that you can solve a problem for them, then you absolutely better be able to impress them. And I think I might have a comment on YouTube here. Oh, we got a bunch of content. What's that, my man? How are you? All right, so, oh, check this out. Remember I told you before? Hey, kid, how are you? Remember I told you before? Where am I? Am I seeing Line's comment here? I don't think I am. Let's see. Can I put it here? Yes, I can. Oh, the new mic is not here yet, Lion. The new mic is not here yet. This is actually just the Mac mic, which is, I think, pretty cool. But look at this. So true. So Lion at one point was making 10K on FB Reels. And then, like he will be the first to tell you, guess what? It disappeared. Why? Because you don't have control of that source, right? And Lion also says, yes, I'm familiar with Loom. So for those of you who weren't familiar with Loom, Loom is about $15 a month. Now, the software that I'm using now, which is like, it's like Loom on steroids, it's the same amount of money. So why wouldn't you use something that's going to make you stand out and show up better in the world, right? So, and I'm sorry, guys, I squint because I'm blind. I'm old. But trust equals conversions. And nothing converts before trust. If somebody doesn't trust you, you can't convert them into a believer, a follower, a subscriber, a watcher, or a client or a customer or a member. You can't convert that if they don't trust you, because they want to know, are you telling me the truth? And the best way to show them that you're telling them the truth is, number one, is to be professional, right? Is to take what you're doing very seriously, so they will believe you. And then number two, it's to actually prove that you know what you're talking about, right? Because again, better video equals higher trust equals higher conversions. So video builds your brand. And that's why my guy Lion was so instrumental in my journey here. What he loves to do on his lives is he loves to show how bad my video used to be, which makes me like cringe every time that I see him do it. But it's still funny because I get to see the massive upgrade that I have had in my video quality since I have been working with the software that he has been teaching me. And by the way, I need to get his up there, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to give my man a shout out here. So hang on one second. We're going to go to this one, right? We're going to go to this one. Nope. We're going to this one. Sorry. And I am going to give you my guy, Lion. And I will put it in the comments if you want it. But this is Lion's community, and it's talking about the art of going live. Now, if I had not discovered the software through Lion to help me stand out, my videos would not look like this. My lives would not look like this. They wouldn't be so interactive. I couldn't pull up comments on the screen. I couldn't do these slides in real time. It's one thing to be able to do this stuff on recorded video. It's a whole nother level to be able to do this stuff live. Because again, that just takes you to the nth degree. So it's called The Art of Going Live. I have got a affiliate link if you want to check it out. But Lion has just tremendously upped my game. And so there it is. That's my shout out to my guy Lion, because he has just been tremendous for my video journey. But let's go back here. All right. Where am I going here? Or is it here? Nope, it's not there. Sorry. There it is. Was it there? Or was it the third? Hey, man, it's all you, and you know it. So, all right, where did my slides go? Where did my slides go? All right, so that's the first one. Where's the other one? All right, let's go over here. I thought I had two of these. See, I did. Oh, I know why. Never mind. All right, there we go. I didn't have the thing set up. So, all right, so where were we here? All right, so trust is conversions, right? We covered that one. We covered this one. Now, lever number 2 is a continuity program and ads. And I'm going to come back live here because this is all no. Sorry about that. That's what this guy talks about in this book. And if you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, I can show him to you live, but Alex is the man. And so what Alex is talking about here, this book, these icons actually mean something. They aren't just hieroglyphics and gibberish, right? This is the attraction offer. This is the upsell offer. This is the downsell offer. And this is the continuity offer. This is the offer that he said made it possible for him to start making money hand over fist, because a continuity offer plus learning how to do ads, it takes your game to the next level, right? It absolutely takes your game to the next level. So let's go back to this screen, right? So continuity and ads. Now we can go to our friend, there we go. All right. So, like my little theater. So let's go to the movies, shall we? So when you're doing ads, it's just a numbers game. It's just math. And all you need to do is understand that math and figure out your numbers. Once you understand the numbers, math is really not, business is really not that difficult. It does take a while to understand the numbers and make the numbers work for you. But all you have to know, how much does it cost to get me one paying customer? And by cost, I mean how much in advertising dollars do I have to spend to get that one customer? Now, once you know that figure, here's what happens from there. You can figure out this, which is called the lifetime value of that customer. And so once you understand the lifetime value of the customer, and by the way, this is all in his books. I am no genius. I didn't figure all this stuff out for myself. Hormozi did, and I just read his books and I just listened to him, and it just makes sense. But once you figure out that number, and you figure out how much it costs to have a customer, You figure out how much the value of that customer is, because you figure out with a continuity offer, or a continuity offer is just a fancy name for a subscription. That's all it is. So if you have that subscription offer and you have a basic idea of how many months they stay, right, before they churn out, because everybody churns, everybody has some, it's called churn. Basically, it means that they leave your offer. They leave your monthly offer. But I can imagine that, for example, Netflix has enormously low churn. That's why it's such a successful business, right? Because they do a little bit of advertising, they get you. And at this point, Netflix is so well known, they don't even need to advertise. Everybody knows who they are. And they bring such compelling programming that is now original programming to their streaming service that they don't even have to advertise. And then people get on and they stay for a year, or they stay for more. And it didn't cost Netflix any money to get that customer. It cost them $0. But once you understand that lifetime value, right? Once you understand that lifetime value, all you have to do is spend less than your lifetime value to acquire that customer. And then everything of that is profit. Let me show you, let me explain this, in a way. And look, again, I am not trying to be Alex Hormozi by any stretch of the imagination, but my man just makes it real simple. Let's say you have a subscription model for $10 a month. All right. Let's say it takes you $10 to get a customer. Now you think you're breaking even. But if you get that person to stay at least 3 months, you actually have a 3-to-1 return on ad spend. Because it costs you $10 to get them, but they're worth $30 lifetime for you. And the better you get at keeping those customers, the higher that lifetime value goes. But if it costs $10 to get a customer that brings you back 30, guess what? You can spend that $10 over and over again to get new customers. Is this making some sense? Right? It's just pure numbers. That is all it is. So when we go back to that, right? Let's go back to that again. Sorry about that. There. So when we go back to that with that continuity and ads, now we understand, right? Now we understand why that is so key. And that's not where I wanted to go. Oh, no, I wanted to go here. I'm sorry. So that's when we understand that if you spend less than the lifetime value of the customer, you win. Right? You win. So how is that different than getting paid for views? Let's say it's AdSense, or it's Creator Fund, or it's Facebook Reels, or whatever, right? These days, the average person, even if they have the type of content that pays a really high rate, at best they're going to make $2 to $5 per 1,000 views. Now on TikTok, that number is way worse. I mean, I'm talking literally cents per 1,000 views. Like 5, 10, 20 cents per 1,000 views. Think about that. Think about how many views you would have to get to even make a gallon of gas, right? It's a lot. It's a lot. And you don't control those views. You have no control over, I don't care what nobody has hacked the algorithm. That is a lie. That is a lie told to sell you courses on how to go viral. It is an absolute and bold-faced lie, right? But you can rely on a platform check, or you can rely on 100 members giving you a lifetime value of, say, $120. What would you rather do? Right? What would you rather do? Because once you figure that out, then you realize that you can get paid to get new customers. And so your recurring revenue covers the ad spend. And when I finally understood this, I realized, oh, okay, the key to growing a business is spending money on ads. The key to growing a business is spending money on ads. And look, I'm no expert at ads, but I know once you hit that threshold that it's only going to take you a little bit of time to get the money back that you paid for the ad, then you're printing money. Let me show you an example of somebody who's doing that. It is not this community. Where's my guy here? Where is my guy? Oh, he's not up here. So let me find him. So this is the guy that when I found out that he did this, I was like, oh my God. All right. His name is Jamie. Now, Jamie spent 20 years in the film industry, and now he's teaching people how to make AI films. All right. Now, Jamie did it a little bit differently than a lot of people do it. Jamie only runs ads. Jamie does not make content. In fact, the only content that he posts are the same ones that he runs as ads. But you can see he has 6,800 members, and most of them were paying him $5 a month. Now everybody has to pay $7. And believe me, it's worth it. It's an amazing community. But here's what Jamie did. And I want to share this with you. Here's what Jamie did. The very first weekend that Jamie opened his community, and this is on a platform called School, by the way, but the very first time that he opened his community, he ran $20 worth of ads on Meta, right? Facebook and Instagram. He ran $20 worth of ads over a weekend. His whole goal was to get maybe 2 people. Now, hear me out. He felt that he could at least keep a customer for 3 months, and most of his people have stayed. I mean, he's had over 6,000 customers for a year, right? But he figured if I can get 3 or 4 people in this first 3 days of my group and advertising, if I can get 3 or 4 people to pull out their credit card and say, okay, this is worth $5. What that does is that trains the advertising algorithm for Meta to show your ad only to people that are likely to pull out the $5 and spend it with you. And so what happened is he just kept spending more and more and more on ads. And then before you know it, the guy is killing it, right? He is absolutely killing it. And what that crown means is that he's making at least $30,000 a month with his community. So he doesn't even do content. All he does is he runs ads. And as long as his cost to acquire customer is less than his lifetime value of customer, he's printing money. Right? Does this make sense? Did I not show you him? I think I might not have even shown him to you. All right, so here's Jamie. Got a little lag here, guys. Sorry. So here's Jamie's community, right? He's got 6,800 members. Most of them were paying $5 a month. So forget the $7 a month. Let's just go with that. 6,800 people, and it's a little bit more than that, times 5. That's $34,000 a month. $34,000 a month. But what he figured out was the math. He figured out the math. That's all he did. And then once he figured out the math, forget it. From that point forward, he's been printing money because he figured out the math. So that's all you have to do is figure out the math. Because once you figure out the math, you stop being a creator waiting on a check from a platform and you start becoming a business owner. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, how do I build a business just off my content? Well, that's where I've got you. That is where I have you. Okay, what happened here? What's going on? Oh, there we go. Sorry. That is where I have you. Well, I had you. What's going on here? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. So that's where I've got you. All right. Um, for the love, man. Sorry, there we go. Okay, that's where I got you. Right here. So this is called the cash flow path. This is my community on the Skool platform where I'm going to teach you, and I'll take you to it live, but that's just showing you what it is, right? So here it is. This is called the cash flow path. And this is what it looks like when you visit. Now, here's the thing. And inside, look, we have, you can get a free trial. And after that, it's only $49 a month. And I promise you, the calls alone that we do every single week make this thing way worth it. Not to mention the fact I'm giving you hundreds of dollars of bonuses inside. Like, I will help you create your community. If you use my link to start your community, I will help you build images like this. I will help you build your descriptions. I will help you build your offer. All of that is in there, for just $49 a month. So it's like very small group coaching for $49 a month. It's absolutely unheard of with this platform. All right. But now, if it wasn't for the fact that I can look like that, right? If it wasn't for the fact that I could look like that, sorry about that. I'm trying to get, what's going on here? What the heck is going on? All right, there's that one. Oh, it's this one. It needs to go down there. Sorry. All right, if it wasn't for the fact, oh no, it does have to go up there. Son of a gun. All right, anyway. So if it wasn't for the fact that I can do all this stuff with my computer and make better video, I'd still be charging $9 a month. Now, up until recently, I was charging $9 a month. But you know what? I did some reflection and I'm like, look, I know what I'm providing is worth way more than $9 a month. And I can prove it to you because when you go into my community, you will see you'll see the stories for yourself. You'll see my friend Cindy, who comes right here from TikTok. And this is what she did in 30 days. She built $3,000 a month of income in 30 days. Here's my guy, Ray. Now, Ray says his biggest regret isn't starting, it was waiting. He said, I spent months watching, and he was watching me because he originally met me on TikTok. He said, I spent months watching, right? And then in my first month, I generated $1,300 of recurring revenue. And he helps he helps people English as a second language. And there's his first like 6 weeks or 10 weeks. Sorry, 10 weeks, 20 members, $1,462 of what we call monthly recurring revenue. And look at his conversion rate. That was insane when I saw that. When I saw a 6.2% conversion rate, I was like, oh my God, that is absolutely nuts. No churn at the time. Crazy. He says, I kept telling myself I wasn't ready. And then I started changing. And then 10 weeks later, I had a recurring income based off of that. And one he owns, not one that depends on the algorithms. And his name is Raymond Gonzalez. And he is a teacher of English as a second language for native, sorry about that, I hit the wrong button. For native Spanish speakers, he is a teacher of English. So there you go, right? So you can do this too. All you have to do is join it. And look, I give you a 7-day free trial because I want you to poke around in there and I want you to put me to the test. I want you to put me to the test. It's like, okay, this is well worth this. Because in my community, I do one live call a week. They usually last about an hour. So that's 4 hours of my time alone for $50 a month. Not to mention the fact I'm going to help you build this right here that you're looking at. I'm going to help you build your images. I'm going to help you build this cover page. I'm going to help you build this description right here. I'm going to help you build this part right here, which is what's called your about page. So you can bring people to it. I'm going to advise you about all of that stuff for $49 a month. I mean, you can't even go out to eat for that. That's insane. But anyway, guys, that is about it for today. But again, let's go back and let's remind you that the two things that will ramp things up for you more than anything is better video. And what happened? Where the heck did it go? There it is. These are the two levers that are going to level things up for you. Better video and a continuity offer, which school allows you to do, and then ads. And once you figure out those two things, you are set. Hey there, kid. Robbie, how are you? So if there are no questions, and it does not appear that there are, I am going to check one more time here on TikTok and on YouTube. I do not see any more. Okay. I don't see any on TikTok. So we're going to wrap things up here. So I hope that you have found this helpful. I hope that you will continue to check out some of my content on YouTube. Again, it's not going to be that great on TikTok. I try to repost some of the videos, but it doesn't always happen. But I post every single day on YouTube. I made a decision a week ago last Monday. So I've been doing it over a week now. Actually, I've been doing it. This will be the 12th day in a row that I've posted a daily video. And it will be I think it's the 11th day in a row that I have gone live. This is the 11th day in a row that I've gone live. And I plan on doing it every single day for the next I made the decision at the halfway point of this year. I said, I'm going to go live every single day and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see how much it changes my group. And so that's what I decided to do, is I was going to do that. Now, you'll continue to be able to see me on TikTok as well as on YouTube. And I'll try my best to stream on both platforms simultaneously every single day for the rest of the year. And we can see, and you're going to see that my video and my ability to use all this equipment, it's going to get even better before it's all said and done. But I thank you guys for listening. For those of you who took the time on a Saturday to check this out on a Saturday night, I thank you. I appreciate you watching. And we shall see you next time.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.